everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Getting my timer set up here. Hello, Karen. So, we are on day 5 of our 8-day meditation challenge. Good morning, Andrea. It's 7 days in disguise. So, it's really 8 days. Hi, Tony. Good morning. Glad to be here with you all this morning. My spiritual coffee is finished. Who else has already had their spiritual coffee this morning, if you are in the morning? Hello, Lana, Wendy. So I was just looking at my timers because as part of what we're doing with the breathing, the Wim Hof breathing, we do timed exhale breath holds. And today we're gonna ramp it up a little bit on how long we hold the breath, because we're on day 5 now. So we're gonna do a 15-second longer breath hold at the end. So if you don't know what that means, that's fine. I will share everything with you. Is there anybody here joining for the first time, either in this Wim Hof breathing and meditation challenge or just new to me in general? You can say hello. And we'll give a review before we dive into what we're doing. So this challenge is designed for anybody at any stage of breathing and meditation, and you don't have to have been here for the other days. The sessions don't build on each other in the sense that you're not learning, you're not going to miss something you didn't hear before. I did give a more thorough explanation on day 1, and it's totally fine. So just glad everybody's here. If you are new, I'm Natalie, spiritual life coach and Reiki Master Teacher. Give me a follow here. This is also being double live streamed on an outside channel, and that's where all my replays are. So if you want to revisit any of these, if you want to revisit any of my live streams for the past few years, they're all over there. So I can share the information with you if you want. You can follow me on social and check my website as well. So yesterday I drew a Michael Singer card that we just used as a simple theme to bring into the meditation, and you can bring it in to the breath work as well. So if there is anybody new, again, please let me know. We will be going live on Sunday morning. Got the same card as yesterday, and you saw me shuffle, so you can't make that shit up. And I'll read the card when we get closer to time to introduce that. But Sunday morning in the Western Hemisphere, we'll be doing Sunday morning live 2 hours later. And it will be a modified format because I still want to do, the Sunday morning format with the collective card reading. And I think we're going to listen to a breathwork breathing meditation that's here on Insight Timer. That's a modified Wim Hof format. So it's called Euphoric Breathwork by Ben Holt. If you want to look for it and try it, it's great. So anyway, the spiritual coffee is still kicking in this morning. If you are American and if you celebrate, there's a holiday today called Independence Day. So, and we can think about themes for ourselves. My friend and fellow Insight Timer teacher, Alicia Bliss, told me today, Happy Interdependence Day. So I liked that. Where can I be free inside? So for those of you who have been doing the breathing and you're new to this, would love to hear your experiences. How has it been for you? I know there's many of you who have shown up most days and wondering how that is. So, yes, there's a lot going on in the world that is causing different things to happen. And here, what we get to focus on is our inner world. And, in the meditation this week, the theme that I have been bringing in. So the format first is we will do the Wim Hof breathing, and then we'll go straight into meditation. And then you will be invited to do cold water immersion. So my challenge is taking a cold shower after you do this breathwork process and this meditation. And so in the meditation portion, it will be a lightly guided, very simple session. And I have been focusing on the theme of devotion and also metta, which is a Buddhist practice of loving kindness. So bringing loving kindness to ourselves, to all beings, bringing, an idea, an intention of peace to all sentient beings, including ourselves, and having that be the focus of our intention and energy, and the fact that we are not only just doing all of this for ourselves, but for humanity as a whole, because we are all connected and we are all one. Good morning, Samastar. So, is there anybody who is new to Wim Hof breathing? Like totally brand new right now, don't even know what I'm talking about. Curious about that. Okay, going once, going twice. So, the benefits of the Wim Hof breathing. Wim Hof is a person who created this breathing. He didn't invent it. He just took from other, ancient practices. He took and created his own method. So just to say that, he didn't invent this. But the way he's put it all together he did create. So the benefits of this breathing are enhanced immune system, reduced inflammation in the body. With the cold water immersion and the cold water exposure, that can increase the metabolism over time. There can be an increase in red blood cells, which means increased ability to carry oxygen in the body. Increased lung capacity, which also does the same thing. It helps with nervous system resilience and vagal nerve tone. So the vagus nerve, as most of us know, is, it's I can't remember the name. It's still early, but anyway, it helps us regulate our nervous system and calm down and be at calm and regulate ourselves and all of that. So it's got lots of benefits. So the way the breathing will go, it will be fully guided by me. And we will do 3 rounds of controlled breathing, and some people call it hyper-controlled breathing, controlled hyperventilation. And it's sort of a circular breathing pattern. You can breathe in through the nose or mouth, and you can exhale through the mouth. So I'll show you that. So it'll be 30 rounds of this circular breathing. At the end of it, you'll take a deep breath in and hold it at the top for just a moment. And then you'll exhale, and then you will hold the exhale. So you hold the breath out, and then I will set a timer. Today, as I said, we're on day 5, so we're getting a little more advanced. So we're going to start with a 1 minute, 15-second breath retention on the exhale. After that, at the end, I'll say take a deep breath in and hold it. So then you again hold the inhale, and this time we will hold it longer for 10 or 15 seconds. And when you hold the inhale, you are invited to squeeze the belly, the chest, the neck, the head. I always say too, like the pelvic floor, the perineum. So it's squeezing and pulling all that energy up. And then you'll release the breath. So that is 1 round. So we'll do that 3 times. With each time, we'll do a longer breath hold. So we'll do today 1 minute 15, 1 minute 30, 1 minute 45. And then we'll go straight into the meditation. And as I said, it will be guided. It will be breath focused and simple. And then we'll end the live stream right at an hour, if not before. And then you will be invited to take a cold shower. So again, this is part of the Wim Hof breathing, and I gave the benefits of that. So Wim Hof is best known, well, not best known, but he is known for having a Guinness Book of World Records for climbing Mount Everest without a shirt and without oxygen. So because of his practice, he has built, this miracle mindset and body as far as being able to overcome the elements. So, there's a lot of potential here, because what this practice does is, yes, it has physical benefits and it has mental benefits, to where we learn to challenge ourselves, push ourselves, go beyond what we think we can do. Good morning, Suzanne. So I invite you to, push yourself through any discomfort by taking a cold shower. When you hold the breath on the exhale, do your best to hold it as long as you can, and also be discerning and give yourself what you need. So it's a balance of that edge of pushing yourself and also not overdoing it. Right. So I'm going to give some modifications. So if the breath feels like it's too vigorous for you, and you will feel lightheaded, you'll feel dizzy, you'll have tingling in your extremities if you're doing it like really fully and you're new at it. Even I still get that. And also first too, it's preferable to be laying down, and you don't have to. If you will be sitting, make sure you have cushions and things, or a place, to land on either side if you tip over, and because you can lose consciousness briefly. So if you're not new to it, whatever, yourself, but if you're new, lay down, and it's just easier to take fuller breaths when you're laying down. And if you need to be seated, if you're in the office and you have an office chair with armrests, okay. But if not, make sure you have cushions and things, or you're on your bed sitting or whatever. So the other modifications are, you don't have to take a 100% inhale. You could take a 70% inhale, right? So just a lesser full inhale. Now, when we're holding the exhale, again, try and hold it as long as you can. If you feel, you can't, and we're not finished with the round yet, you could take a tiny sip of air like this, just like super small, and continue to hold. Sometimes, teachers will recommend that. You can try that. And if you do breathe before we're finished, just wait and start back when we continue. You can, if you are like, I can't continue to hold it, you can take that deep breath in on your own. So it's most, best practice after you do the exhaled breath hold, you take that deep breath in and hold it, squeeze the belly, chest, and head, hold it 10 or 15 seconds. So if you're, not doing that with the group, you can do that on your own, and then start back with the rest of us. Let's see. Other modifications at the end, when you take the breath in, you don't have to squeeze. And then the cold shower modifications are, you could do a bowl of ice water and a face cold water immersion with your face in a bowl of ice water, a bowl of cold water, splashing cold water on your face in the sink, doing, playing with water temperature in the shower. You could start with, warm and go to cold, cold and go to warm. So there's lots of ways to do it. And Summa Star, great questions. So are you talking about at the end of the 30 circular breaths, your first question, or are you talking about at the end of the exhale? Okay, after the 30, yes. No, do not completely exhale everything out. So that's a great question. So when we're doing the circular breathing, it's circular. So you're not even really going to finish the exhale before you inhale. So I'll demonstrate it. And like I said, you can breathe in through the nose or mouth. The mouth breathing, if you breathe in the way I'm going to show you and the way I do it, you'll get a fuller breath. But you can do it through your nose. So it will just be like this. You can see I'm not completely fully exhaling. No, I've been very clear through, because it's very important. We don't exhale every drop out of our lungs at the, in the circular breathing, or also at the, when we do the breath hold, you will leave some air in your lungs. Not a lot, but do not force all the air out. No, you're not going to be able to hold the exhale very long if you do that. So at the end of doing the 30, I'll say deep breath in, hold at the top, exhale, and then hold. So you just let it come to a natural end. So that's a great question. So having to swallow during the breath hold, swallowing is different than breathing. You can swallow and completely not be doing anything with with air going in and out of your lungs. So great question. Shalom, Drazel. Good morning. I need to get my charger. Hold on. Now, when I have given this instruction to do the cold water immersion, and also too, if there's anybody out there with an ice bath or whatever, or near the ocean and it's cold, and you can do that too when you finish this. So when I go into the shower, I have to take some breaths, or not have to, but it makes it easier to tolerate the shock of the cold water, to do this breathing that whatever, I don't know if I learned it somewhere or what, but very controlled in breaths and out breaths. So this is completely different and is not to do with what we're about to do, but just in the shower to help regulate the system. So I do this. So there, I'm very forcefully pushing the air out and in. And that just helps me when I'm, the body is being exposed to the cold. So, any other questions before we dive in? So if you want to breathe in through the nose, it'll look like this. Hi, Lauren. Great. Good to see you again. If you want to breathe through the mouth, this is the way I do it. I get a fuller breath with the mouth breathing by kind of sipping it like as if through a straw. And you can also see the part I didn't mention is you want to make sure the breath, the inhale, you're breathing in through the belly and then into the chest. And I have talked about this double inhale as well. So the double inhale is my preference. I can get more air in, and it's also beneficial because it helps the lung sacs open in the top of the lungs, and that doesn't happen so much unless you're, vigorously exercising. So I do the double inhale. So that looks like this. And so that's more, I'm focused on breathing into the diaphragm, filling the belly, and then focused on filling the chest. So I'll do the first round just normal, and I'm still breathing into the belly and chest, but it's just one continual breath rather than two focused breaths. Okay. Good question, Suzanne. So the breaths need to be continual. Like that. You can do it slower, but you don't want to slow it down too much because that completely changes. You don't want it to be like yeah, that's not this practice. If you're doing that, then you're starting to do something else, which is great. All breath work and breathing is great, and it's not the same. So you could slow it down. You can play with it. So there, you can slow it down, and then there's a point in which you're doing a different practice. Yeah, so great question. And that might be something I could research about before tomorrow. Yeah. So if we're talking about pure Wim Hof, he does it fairly there's a vigorousness to it. And I would say I demonstrate it on the more vigorous side. So to keep it simple, like the pure Wim Hof method, it's going to be more not slow. Okay. All right, we'll begin. So let's take just a few measured breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And then when we start, you can breathe in through the nose or mouth and exhale through the mouth. So we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Hold at the top. Exhale and hold. You can do this. Fifteen seconds. Deep breath in, hold at the top. Squeeze the belly, chest, and head. Squeeze. And exhale. Round 1 is complete. You may yawn, whatever. You may feel sensations in the body. We will hold for 1 minute 30 in this next breath retention at the end of this second round. And we will begin in 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Three, 2, 1. Deep breath in and hold at the top. Exhale and hold at the bottom. Hold the exhale. Feel the sensations. You're doing great. "15 seconds. Deep breath in, hold at the top. Squeeze the belly, chest, and head. And relax. Great work, everybody. This final third round, we will hold for 1 minute 45. And remember, you can do it one of two ways, and you want to push yourself and see if you can make it the whole time. And if you can't, it's not that you failed or anything like that. It's okay. And you can either take a tiny sip or two of breath in, just tiny sip and hold it. Or if you want to just end the round, then you can do the deep breath in, squeeze the belly, chest, and head, hold at the top 10 or 15 seconds on your own. And I know you can do this. So round 3. In 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Three, 2, 1. Breathe in, hold at the top. Exhale, hold the exhale. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Deep breath in, squeeze everything and hold. And relax. Wonderful work, everybody. Great job. So we're going to go straight into the meditation. And I'm going to read the Michael Singer card I pulled, which is the same one we had yesterday. So you can bring this into your practice. If I ask you, who are you? You answer, I am the one who sees. From back in here somewhere, I look out, and I am aware of the events, thoughts, and emotions that pass before me. So just allowing the breath to return to normal. Breathing in and out through the nose. Who are you? You can ask yourself that question. Who am I? I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. I'm not my body. I am the one who is aware of all of these things. And from this place of I am presence, notice the breath going in and out of the body. You can notice it from one of two focus points, in the nostrils or in the belly as it moves in and out, or the sensation of air going in and out through the nose. Just notice the breath. And notice it with an energy of being devoted to this practice. Being devoted to the breath and to the awareness. When we are devoted, we regard the thing that our focus point is with an energy of love, appreciation, maybe affection even, gratitude. So as we sit, bring that energy in. And especially when the mind goes off, becomes identified with thought, when you notice and you bring it back to the breath, bring that energy of devotion there as well. And tuning back into the energy of devotion, breathing in loving kindness to yourself, appreciation for your practice today, for taking the time to devote yourself to doing this. This is a noble practice. outer world reflects our inner world. So when we can cultivate peace, compassion, and loving kindness within ourselves, that will make a difference in the outer world, in our own lives, the lives of others, and on all of planet Earth. You can let these phrases sink into your awareness now. May I be happy. May I be at peace. May I be free from suffering. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be free from suffering. You can begin to come back, moving the body, taking a deep breath in. When you open your eyes before re-engaging with the outside world, just pause and integrate with open eyes. Just feel the body, feel the heart, and feel the energy. So, great work today, everybody. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to follow me here on Insight Timer, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Check my website. You can give a donation if you'd like, if this was helpful. We will be back tomorrow for day 6, same time, and cold shower time. Thank you, Randy, for the donation. Any questions or comments before we end the live session today? Hi, Drazel. Yeah, it takes practice. And what can help is I would look at the volume of your in-breath. That is kind of the fuel or the bigger the volume of the in-breath when you're doing the 30 breaths, then you will find you'll be able to hold the exhale longer. And this is a practice, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. You're welcome, Nancy. Wendy, Lana, glad to have you. All right. Hey, Ilanet. Wonderful. J.E., you're welcome. Yes, and in the beginning I do give modifications. And, you know, a step down from doing it as he models is taking, instead of a 100% inhale, taking a 70% inhale. So that can be a modification to practice with. You're welcome, Karen. Yeah, Wim Hof's breathing has helped thousands, and people have had miraculous physical healings as well as, you know, mental and emotional. So it's very powerful. Thank you, Amanda, Lauren. See you all tomorrow. Namaste. Bye-bye.